Welcome. Hello out there on Radioland. This is Amanda Whittemore here with Quality Living with Peaceful Support. As you may have heard, this is a segment, a 30-minute presentation of activities for quality living techniques for all ages. And our guests touch on and speak of ways to improve our overall well-being. We thank KCIW listeners. Be sure to call in, email, and or participate. We have the phone number of 541-661-4098, and you can contact at kciw.org. Today, we have a special guest, Mr. Richard Wilson. Richard Wilson is one of our pioneers of the Brookings community. How are you doing today, Richard?
I'm doing fine.
All right, we're glad that you're here today.
I am glad too.
And how was your day today?
It's been great today. I've been working up on the ranch.
Oh, okay. And you have a famous quote you say about every day is a great day. I never have a bad day when you're 82 years old. And that we all ought to remember. It's so easy to get lost in all the things in the world that bombard us. However, really, you made it that far, and that's a lot of work and a lot of perseverance. And I believe you call it mindset.
You have to have a mindset. I've always maintained you have to have three things to be successful: a mindset, a work ethic, and confidence. If you have those three things, you'll be successful in life.
That's absolutely important. We say the educated are responsible. And how did you start out here in Brookings?
We came here in 1970, August of 1970, and I taught school up at the high school for 15 years, and my wife retired from there in 1988. So I've seen a lot here in Brookings.
That's quite a journey, and quite a very important one, too. And which department did you teach with?
I was athletic director, and also I taught health and driver training.
Well, that's pretty fun.
It was a fun experience.
Nice. And you said you guys came from Missouri.
I came from Missouri. I was an Ozark hillbilly, and my wife was a city slicker from Long Beach, California.
Oh, how fun.
And we met at John Brown University in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, where we got our degrees from.
Marvelous. And then you came out here and made a family?
Yeah, we came out here in 1970. My oldest daughter was 6 years old, and my youngest was 2 years old.
Oh, how fun. And after you became a teacher, how did you stay active in the community?
Well, I got my real estate license in 1975. And so I sold real estate during the summer and taught during the rest of the year. And then I quit teaching in 1985 and bought Century 21 Agate Realty. And I've been doing that ever since.
That's quite impressive to stay solid with the goal and on track. A lot of people, it's difficult for them to do, and you've become very successful with that.
Normally, you change your occupation 2 or 3 times in your lifetime, and I've done that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fun. How would you say quality is how would we put this? How is quality, the meaning of quality, how is that in your vision?
Well, to me, it's enjoying what you're doing. And I enjoy living in Brookings, Oregon, and I enjoy the ranch that another person and I bought in 2020. And if you've got an enjoyment of life, you've probably got it made.
Absolutely. With the family now, they all stayed here with you?
My youngest daughter and her husband and her son are real estate agents with Century 21 Agate Realty. So we have 3 generations at our real estate office now.
Well, that sure is mindset.
Yes, it is.
And quite a bit of confidence.
Yes, you've got to have them.
Absolutely. We love that. And Brookings is such a quaint, luxurious area that it's pretty easy to stay here and do all the things that we love.
It's very good for married couples. We had a lot of teachers come here. They'd stay here 1 or 2, 3 years, and they'd leave if they weren't married. It's not good for the single person at the teaching area. But it's a great area to raise your family and be a married couple.
Beautiful. With the Century 21 Agate Realty, we hear that you have participated with supporting the community in quite various ways.
Yes, I have 2 organizations that I support right now, and one is the South Coast Humane Society, and the other one is a canine program with the Curry County Sheriff's Department. I firmly believe in both of them.
Absolutely. And what is it that the canine program does?
Well, the canine program, any police department should have a canine dog to help apprehend the criminal if they get on the loose. And I bought 2 dogs for the Curry County Sheriff's Office, and then I got a drug dog for the Brookings Police Department. And I'm in the process, as soon as they get ready, they will have a 3rd dog. All they've got to tell me is when the dog is ready to be purchased, and I will purchase it for the Curry County Sheriff's Office.
That's quite a dedication and a lot of work to keep.
Well, I strongly believe in the canine program for the Sheriff's Office. They've got to have them to be successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with keeping a safe community for the families, that is important to have those protective measures in place.
Correct, it is.
Absolutely. Well,
and on the South Coast Humane Society, I got a dog from them 4.5 years ago, and that got me involved in the South Coast Humane Society. And every year we, in November, mid-November, what the community will match, then I will match the same amount, but we do set a limit to start with.
Right.
Last year it was $15,000, and the community came in and supported that very well. And so I contributed my $15,000 also. This year we will do another one. I'm assuming this year it'll probably be $17,500.
This November.
What?
In November.
In November. It's always in November of every year.
Okay. That's something to look forward to.
They run a really good program down here. Jennifer has a tremendous amount of dogs and cats, and it's a very worthwhile organization, and I support it wholeheartedly.
Beautiful. And we've seen your dear friend Diamond, and
yes. Diamond is the dog that I got, and she was quite the girl. She had been in the I call it the dog pound, for 4 years when we got her.
Oh, man.
And she had been out several times, but she was always brought back.
Oh. Gosh. And she has the best home in the world, and she's your best friend.
Yes, she does now. So.
Yeah. It's nice for people in the community to allow her to be at your side because she is super supportive.
And then I normally limit my contributions to certain things, and I contributed to my high school, where I graduated from in Missouri, and it was quite a sum, and I built them a football. I didn't build it, but I provided the money to build a 2,000-seat stadium. They got new restrooms, new lights, and a new grass field.
That's quite talented.
Well, some people can't wait till they get out of high school. I really enjoyed my high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great high school. I really enjoyed it, and so I gave back to it.
That's quite kind. I'm sure they're extremely appreciative. Anybody in high school who gets those benefits.
And it will last for years to come, probably at least 50 years or more.
Quite wonderful. And with other family members in the real estate business, they are seeing your guidance and your success and your quality living with your happiness. And how do you project their following your suit and your...
Well, my daughter's already doing very, very well at it. In fact, she'll be taking over her and her husband, Century 21, on January 1st. I'm going to get out of being in charge of the office, and we're going to let them take over. I will still be active, and I've got other things to do besides real estate.
Well, once you reach 82 and you've been doing it.
Yeah, I've got a lot of rentals to take care of, so
nice.
I'll be busy.
Okay, yeah. And you have a hobby that we hear about.
My hobby is our ranch up the south bank of the Chetco River. I'm up there every morning and every evening, and sometimes the whole day.
Beautiful.
I have lots of equipment now, which we call toys for men. And so I enjoy being on my equipment. In fact, I was on my excavator this morning doing some work. And time goes by really good when you're doing that because, again, you're enjoying life. And I enjoy it fully when I'm up there.
It makes a world of difference, our environment and the activities that we do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there's, we hear that you have had a recent injury that you've successfully healed, miraculously healed from.
Yes, I made a stupid mistake and broke my right hip on the morning of February the 26th. So I've had over 4 months of healing now, and I'm getting around pretty good. I still use my walking stick just for balance. I have a problem called neuropathy, and it affects your balance. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm healing from that, and I'm back on my equipment, and so I'm happy.
And that is major inspiration to everyone out there at any age. Any of our KCIW listeners?
Yes, my doctor told me the last time I visited, he said, there's a lot of people that don't survive this injury. And there's a lot of people that once they break a hip, they either slow down tremendously or they just don't quite get back and they will die within a year or two. So sometimes suddenly when they're doing it.
Right. And a lot of that comes from, of course, your mindset and your confidence.
Yes.
And from the support and the network that you have built up around you.
Yes, all that goes in, having the right people helping you. And I had the right people helping me this year. And it went on until about a month ago. And now I'm pretty much free on myself now.
Excellent. Very well. That's, as we hear, a lot of people don't make it, and you're one of those victory stories.
Yes, I'm back full steam on my equipment. So as long as I'm up there, I'm happy, and as long as I'm working and doing something, I got to be busy all the time. I can't sit around. That's just my makeup. I've got to be busy. I get up at 4:30 every morning and go to bed about 9 o'clock. So
that's a full day.
It's a full day. I come home tired.
That is true quality.
But my wife and I get a lot of enjoyment out of Hallmark movies, and there's Great American Family movies, and so we watch those almost every night. So that's another enjoyment that we have, that in older life that you need to have something to do.
Absolutely. And for inspiration or motivation for people out there that are going through recovery, are there any suggestions or supportive tips that you could give them from when your injury happened to how you actually healed?
Yes, from the very first day. And can you imagine, I was in the hospital for 16 days. Every day was a fantastic day. You've got to have that mindset that, and you've got to be positive all the time. You can't be negative and griping, and you just got to have that mindset to get through it. If you're thinking negative all the time, you won't even get well as quick. So you've got to have a good positive mindset to make it through any injury.
That is the way to do it. And it's been proven, and we see that.
Yes, every day. Anytime I go to the bank, I always ask the tellers how their day is going. And if they tell me anything but great, I let them know that it's a great day, not to be down.
Right, no complaints.
No complaints. And I'm sure they get plenty from people during the day.
Can't even imagine. How was it in the real estate world? Would you have that same practice?
Basically, I've had that all my life in real estate, but I am really phasing out of listing and selling now, and because I've got so many other things active. Really, I need another me, but I can't find it.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure we all have that sensation sometime or another.
Yes, we do.
If everybody could just do what we do.
So, but still, it's a good life, and as I said, I do enjoy every day. So,
it's important to do that. Do you foresee any other important organizations or programs coming up for the future generations here in the Brookings area?
I don't. It's hard to foresee some of these. I was just thinking, when I came here, we had no traffic lights. We had a bridge that you crossed the Chatco River that was difficult to cross if you were meeting a logging truck. There's just been so many changes in Brookings in the last 53 years. And the next 50 years is even going to be greater. I don't know what they're going to be, but they're going to be tremendous.
It has that sensation that there's something brewing in town, something's evolving.
Well, you just know it's going to happen because we have the best weather in the state of Brookings. Mm-hmm. I do get tired of the rain anymore, but when it's not raining in the wintertime, it's beautiful.
It's very luxurious.
So I wouldn't live anywhere but Brookings. I don't even want to take a vacation because I like it here. this is my vacation, working every day.
That is very rare to hear, however, it's true. It is the most luxurious place on earth.
It is. And I love it here.
Good. Well, we're glad. It's a pleasure to know you and to meet you. And we are always looking to meet others that have the same mindset and that motivate us to keep us going and inspired, such as you do. And if anybody ever wanted to come in and meet Richard, they could find him at the Century 21 office.
I talk to a lot of people. What's interesting when I go to the banks and I see all my former students in there, and some of them are 65, 68 years old now.
That is quite impressive. And they remember you?
Oh, yes. They don't forget me.
Right. Yeah. You have a big impact on the community, and it makes a difference.
Yes, and everyone needs to, whatever organization it is, needs to get behind one and support that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I stick with two. But everyone needs to get their own, whatever they like, and support it, and get others to support it if they can.
Right. Yeah. Just build the network and grow the strength in numbers.
What?
The strength in numbers?
Yes, it is. So.
Beautiful. And, well, I invite tons of different people here on the show of Quality Living, a variety of teachers and doctors, different people of different wellness avenues. Myself, I am a end-of-life doula giver, and I work with people that are passing or that are not yet ready to pass, and they need somebody to be a patient advocate for them. And I also do holistic health coach, and I do personalized yoga courses. And believe it or not, Richard and I actually got to do a session together. When he was getting out of the hospital, I was available to be able to be his right hand and make sure that he did all the things that the doctors asked him to do, and get him to be part of his network and to stay solid and strong and keep on his feet.
Yes, I had to be remembered all the time on what I was supposed to do, because sometimes you forget, and that can cost you dearly.
Right, and it's good to remember ourselves, and I forget all the time too. If I only had another one of me to remind me. Then if you want to find me, I am at the Reps Gym. I teach there on Wednesdays at 5:30. I also have the Chetco Activity Center where I volunteer because I strongly believe in that organization, and it's right next door to the Century 21 Agate Real Estate office on Chetco Avenue. And I believe in having a community center and having a place of activities where people can get together and do fun things.
Well, that's what I was telling you. Normally people support one or two activities. It's very important to pick what you really believe in, mm-hmm. and then support that. And that's why I chose the Canine Department and the South Coast Humane Society, plus my high school back in Missouri.
And how many years have you been supporting the Canine program?
The Canine, I believe, 4 years.
Nice. Is there any? So you?
I started it about the same time that I got my Diamond, my dog, and then I started supporting the South Coast Humane Society at the same time. Both of them had been about 4 years.
Nice. And it's open for other people to support the program also.
Much needed, both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here in Brookings, Oregon, the K-9 department for the sheriffs?
That's at the Curry County Sheriff's Department.
Okay, perfect. So we do request that our listeners jump on board and get out there to support the organizations and the Humane Society.
As well as the Sheriff's Department.
As well as the Sheriff's Department.
Or their own individual one, whatever they believe in is what they should support.
Right. Wonderful. We appreciate that so much. It really does keep the streets safe. Here in Brookings, our tiny town that we are so fortunate that we can walk everywhere to.
Yes, some big cities you wouldn't want to be caught on the streets, and Brookings isn't that way.
We're very, very fortunate for the pioneers such as Richard Wilson and their families that kept the structure and the purity and the strength of our community. And we look forward to a wholesome community here in the future of Brookings, Oregon, and being a supportive member in the community, doing acts of quality will keep that going.
See, another thing that I have is I have a 20-year project up on my ranch to get it completely the way I want it to look. Well, I've already used 3 of those years. So anyway, you've got to have goals in life, and that's one of my goals, is to have that to be very, very nice.
And the ranch, is that something that's where it's your sanctuary? It's your
It's
happy
my
place.
sanctuary. It's my church.
Beautiful. And with just the drive to get there is probably heavenly.
Well, it's only 5.5 miles.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a 10-minute drive to get there.
Okay. Nice. And it's something that people on vacation can go and enjoy, or?
Well, we do have a lodge up there, and people can rent the lodge.
Okay.
We normally do that during the summertime only.
Okay, right. Mostly a family retreat center.
Yes.
For the family. That makes sense.
For both of our families. Jeff Richardson is my partner on the ranch.
Beautiful. We appreciate that. And, it all starts within our own selves of how we have the ripple effect on the community, is making sure that our own center is at peace and supportive and productive.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, we are at our limit today, and we thank all of our KCIW listeners, and we thank Mr. Richard Wilson for sharing his pioneering experience here of Brookings, Oregon, and being a huge part and owner of the Century 21 Agate Realty office, and supporting the K-9 program and the Humane Society here in Brookings, Oregon. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.